All right, welcome back to House of Prep. Jerry here, and it's snowing here in Tennessee. I'm super excited. I love it when it snows, and it is a little chilly here, but I wanted to make sure I took a few minutes and touch base with everybody. As promised, at least once a week, I was going to make sure to go to Walmart, do my Walmart run of supplies, and give an update on how things are looking. On my thumbnail, I took the photo. You could see that on my main page where you clicked on that. That was a photo going down one of the aisles at Walmart. If I could have taken a picture of every single aisle, you would definitely notice holes. You can still buy a product that you needed, maybe not the brand that you prefer. And I noticed no matter if it's candy aisle, missing lots of different products. You can still get your chocolate fix, but maybe not find that Reese cups you wanted or that Snicker bar you wanted. They may have been out of that. Same with different breads. You could find bread, but you couldn't find maybe that Nature's Own bread that you liked, or that special whole grain, or the white breads that maybe you preferred a certain brand. They didn't have every single brand. Same in the freezer section. You could find frozen pizza, but maybe not that Tombstone brand that you preferred, or that other brand that you like to have. So as I was going through, and then you get to the paper products, you could find very few paper products, very fine amount of the paper towels, toilet paper. You could grab some, and you could find some cleaner, very limited amount. Very definitely couldn't get your brand if you had a specific brand, unless it happened to be what they had. Bleach, they had some scented bleach, not the preferred one that I like. I like just regular bleach, but you could get the ones that I guess smell like country flowers and things like that. So they had a limited amount. Now a lot of that's been ongoing. A lot of that is very also familiar. And as you're making comments, and please give your updates as we're talking here, throw your updates, hit the like button on this video, but also do your comments and the updates of how your stores have been looking. Now this has been since before Thanksgiving that we've had this conversation, and Thanksgiving was a great time to take a pause, to take a break, to enjoy some family. But this is a typical mistake. If you're new to prepping, if you began watching these videos and you began to start putting more in your pantry, you've been doing that rotating prepper pantry, and you began to do that. Sometimes after a big holiday, after a big exhale, after the news has now kind of changed its focus, it's now going back on to other things, and it's starting to revamp and talks of new things. And when things start to kind of like rechange and a different train hits the tracks per se, that it's easy to let off the pedal. It's easy to kind of forget what you started, and to just kind of go back to the old way and business as usual. Let this be a reminder. Don't stop the progress that you had. Don't let that just disappear, and all that hard work and the effort that you've put in to creating a better pantry and to begin preps and starting to store away some things. Let this be an opportunity to go ahead and jump back on that. Go ahead and make a list. Go back and reevaluate your pantry now that you've done all the cooking and all the prepping that you did for Thanksgiving, and probably gone through a lot of your supplies, a lot of your baking goods, a lot of things. Well, Christmas is around the corner too. Go ahead and start restocking all those things. Go back and say, okay, wow, I'm glad I checked this, because I'm already low on this and I'm already running out of this. Check your perishables. Open up your fridge. Check your refrigerator. Look at your eggs and milks, and if you like yogurt, and maybe some sour creams and butter. The whole list of all the stuff that you use. Open it up. Is it almost empty? Go ahead and get some backups. Go ahead and get some replacements. Don't let kind of this pause in the media of the way that they do things, just because they're not talking about it, doesn't mean that there's still not the necessity to prepare, and that it doesn't exist, because it does exist. We are to still prepare. It could be for something that you particularly are worried about, but it could be for any reason. It could be a snowstorm. It could be an ice storm coming down and shutting everything down, everybody buying up all the bread and milk. You know the routine. this is the time while there's a pause and while there are still items in your grocery store. Now, if your grocery store is worse off, please put it in the comments. I would like to know. And I think others would also be interested to kind of see, what parts of the country might be experiencing different things. If you haven't experienced anything, you have full shelves, you have toilet paper stacked to the roof at your store, that's fine. Put that in the comments. It's kind of nice to know where we're standing as a nation, and other countries as well, of where we stand and where we're headed. Now, with all the talks and things, and I know here in Tennessee, there are schools that are closing again. They're going back to virtual learning and things like that, and at home. So what does that mean? That means that there's going to be more usage of items in the household as more people are spending time in their house. So as there's already a shortage of toilet paper, that's just going to make it even that much worse. As you watch the news and you see different states talking and experiencing shutdowns of restaurants again, and you know what that was like. Well, when people can no longer go out to eat as often, what does that mean? Well, that means they're now going to the grocery store and they're buying more food than normal because they're not eating out now like they used to. And the eating out was supplementing how much food they would have on hand in the refrigerator to cook for meals. Now they're cooking all their meals all week long at home. So they have to go buy more hamburger meat. They have to go buy more chicken. They need to go buy more steaks. They need to go buy more freezer meals or whatever it is that they can or can't cook. Maybe just heat it in the microwave. More and more of that is going to go up. Well, it's the whole supply and demand thing. If things are already kind of on edge, like I explained at the beginning of the video, you're already having a hard time finding the things that you might want. How hard is it going to be to find when the demand for those items increase? It's going to make it that much more difficult. So right now is the time to go out, get the things that you prefer. Will I always be able to find A, B, and C? Probably, yeah, unless something continues to ramp up here. But you like that specific one, the one that's your favorite, that the family prefers. Now's the time to make sure you have all that you prefer to have, because that may or may not be available to you. And just keep an eye as you start watching things shut down, and as we're going into the Christmas season, more people are traveling, and you know that as they start catching colds, right, and catching some of the sickness that's out there, as they start catching more of that is only going to escalate the news, and as the news escalates, that's going to escalate the fear in people. Now, as preppers, and if you've been a part of this channel, and now if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. But we don't promote fear here. We promote being proactive, not reactive. We don't react to the news or react to the fears that are among maybe our neighbors and our community, but we're proactive. We like to think ahead, to plan ahead, and be prepared for whatever we need to be prepared for. So I hope that this video can just be an encouragement to kind of push you back on. We're past the first main holiday of this year, Thanksgiving. We're getting past that, and don't let this be a lull to where you just put your guard down, okay? I'm not trying to stoke fear upon you, but I want to put a sense of urgency that you don't need to quit what you started. So please, take a time, sometime later today, reassess and reevaluate your stocks, your prepper pantry. Make sure that you're doing all that you need for you and for your family, and to continue on this constant journey that we are, and we're all in it together. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already down here on the way out. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.